Phil Murphy, he sat down, talked about his first budget plan. And I don't know how everybody feels about it, but it includes a major tax hike. Also, an additional $242 million to improve New Jersey transit, which I'm sure lots of people are in favor of.
We will restore the funding that New Jersey Transit needs to once again be a reliable and respected service. The prior administration's...
Joining us now to break it all down for us, the governor's budget proposal, political analyst Steve Adubato. He's the author of Lessons in Leadership. Thanks for joining us this morning.
It's great to be with you. This is a time for leadership in Washington and in the State House, and finding money.
Finding money, I mean, but okay, so we know he has these great plans, which I'm sure everybody's in favor of, you know, having transit that actually works.
Sure, free college, community college.
Yeah,
who's not in favor of that?
I know, but who's going to pay for it, Steve?
Minor detail. In fact, the governor said, look, he has a very progressive agenda. He said it during the campaign. Anyone who says, I can't believe where this came from, Rosanna and Jen, he said it. I'm going to go for free community college. I'm going to increase funding for mass transit. I'm going to put more dollars, state dollars, into the pension for pension workers because it's about to go bankrupt.
Right, because they haven't funded it for years. Right?
$80 billion, what's called an unfunded liability, fancy way of saying, hey, we don't have the money. You retire 10, 20 years from now, it may not be there for you. So Governor Murphy has said he wanted to do that. The problem has always been, how do you pay for it? You have to balance the budget by Constitution in New Jersey. He has increased the budget from $35 billion to 37 and change, like 37.5. He's saying he wants to increase the millionaire's tax. So every dollar you raise, you earn over $1 million. It goes from 9% to almost 11%. The Democratic Senate President, Steve Sweeney, without getting too many details, has said, you know what, I used to be for that. But after Donald Trump and the Republicans said you can't deduct your state and local taxes beyond 10 grand,
people are going to be
not doing that.
Saying people are going to be leaving the state en masse. The middle class is getting squeezed out.
They are already. I know people in New York are already leaving. And by the way, any millionaire who tells you they want to pay more in taxes is lying, because they could if they wanted to.
Well, put it this way.
They could without taking deductions and everything else, okay?
Well, I got to tell you, Rosanna, I've been thinking about this. I really respect what Governor Murphy's trying to do. I think he's got a really good heart, and his agenda helps a lot of people, particularly those who have less. But the dilemma is, if you say we're going to try to squeeze this stone again, those who have more, millionaires, and more of them say, okay, I'm going to establish residence in Florida. I'm going to establish residence in Pennsylvania, where the income tax rate is non-existent. Some states don't even have them. You lose those people, you lose that money.
And then somebody else has to pay for it. Because I think there's
those who have less.
That's right. So the legislature is not saying they're going to go for this millionaire's tax, are they?
You know, right now the Senate President, Steve Sweeney, is saying, I'm not in favor of it. He's proposing what's called a corporate tax, meaning over $1 million for a corporation. I don't know who gets hurt or who gets helped with that. There's going to be a battle there. The other one, which is huge, is the legalization of marijuana. And we sit there and say, oh, well, that's just a legal issue. That's a criminal issue. No, it's not. Governor Murphy believes it's the right thing for social justice because he believes that African Americans are disproportionately, impacted by it, arrested, and put in jail. But there's $60 million of revenue. This new, it's so interesting. You're the governor, you're not the emperor, meaning you have to get the legislature to get things done. The new Speaker of the House, his name is Craig Coughlin, first thing he said, I'm not going to legalize marijuana. So the governor is doing this as two big agenda items, legalizing marijuana, the millionaire's tax. You got the Senate president on one side, the speaker on the other, and they're like, no, I don't think so.
So you think he's got an uphill battle ahead for nearly every campaign?
They're
all Democrats.
Yeah. So the other problem is with legalizing marijuana, and I understand what the governor is saying. You know, some people think marijuana is a gateway drug, and we are in an opioid crisis right now. And so I don't know, you're going to find a lot of people who are going to support that. Plus, in Colorado, yes, they have raised a lot of money.
They sure have.
Okay, but they are, the jury is out on whether it's any safer in that town. They're pulling people over. It's hard for them to determine whether they're driving drunk or driving under the influence.
Sorry for interrupting, but driving while you're drunk or driving while you're high, that's a totally different issue. Governor Murphy said 6 times in his budget address, we have to do this very carefully. We have to do it very slowly. And a lot of legislators are saying, let's decriminalizing. He's not for that. He wants all-out legalization. I think there's going to be a battle over that and a whole range of other issues, and it's going to be an interesting time. I do not envy him. But he chose this job. It is not This is life in New Jersey after Chris Christie. It's a totally different agenda, totally different governor, and different style. He's very personable and charming, I will say that.
He is. He's been on our show.
Yeah. He did his high kick whenever he came on stage.
Did he do it here?
And we tried to encourage him. He said he needed a little motivation to get that.
Well, I did that last week, and I pulled a hamstring. I just want to share that. Not everyone can do that.
He's very nice, and he seems personable, but when you see that he's got a fight within his own party,
yes,
I think that's a problem there.
Now, it's going to be a wonderful opportunity, a great opportunity, whether he likes it or not, to try to learn negotiate. In my book, not that I want to plug the book, so much is about negotiations. He's going to learn how to negotiate with other Democrats, people who have a different point of view. He can't ram this through, and he's got to figure out what they want. There's going to be horse trading, who wants what, who wants this, who wants that. All of a sudden, you're going to realize that policy doesn't matter as much when legislators, politicians are getting the things that they want. I think some of this is going to happen, even though some Democrats are saying they're against it. If they get the things they want for their districts, I don't want to get too inside, it could happen.
What about the Gateway Tunnel project? Because President Trump said he's not going to federally fund it. Now it's really up to Governor Cuomo and Phil Murphy to work it out amongst themselves.
Yeah, on paper. And I'm just coming through the Lincoln Tunnel. I'm sitting there going, where's the Gateway? Meaning you need that other tunnel. I really felt that President Trump was going to say, I'm a New Yorker, I've got a golf course in New Jersey, Bedminster, I'm all in, I respect those folks, I want to help them with some federal match with the local money. I think what he's saying, I don't know this for sure, I think he's saying is, I didn't win New Jersey, I didn't win New York, I'm not going to win it in 2020. I don't think he's convinced that he believes that it's the federal government's role. And frankly, I think he's peeved at the states that didn't support him. Do I know that for sure? No. But without that federal money, there isn't a way in the world that tunnel's going to be built.
Steve Adubato, always a pleasure to have you on. You really kind of break it down so we can understand what's going on in New Jersey. Now, you still have that PBS show?
That little, I've
been on it.
Hold on.
I love that PBS
Best rated show I ever did.
Stop it.
It was with you. And who else was on? And your mom.
My mom. She loved it.
She brought food that, was very special. Anytime you have an open invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for breaking it down for us.
You got it.
Appreciate it.